Welcome in, traders. How are we doing today? Welcome back to Neo Stock Tech Analysis, in which we are going to be going over the beautiful reactionary candle you saw, what you did on the charts today, and what pattern you could potentially be confirming for the chart here on Neo in the macro, right? So make sure to stay until the end. This stock video is only going to be about Neo, so really lock in, ladies and gentlemen, and slap the subscribe button if you guys find value in this, right? So Neo stock, what have you done today that is so significant, so monumental that you could potentially look to see upside now, right? What you've done is you saw a peel back all the way. What is that percentage? So a peel back 21%. Since the high there, and you filled the gap literally perfectly. The gap was at 629, and guess what your low was today? 628. Sometimes it's special like that, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes it is sexy like that. That is so disgusting. Additionally, you saw a full-bodied green close, bouncing off of the 50-day daily EMA, and seeing the largest volume candle you've seen since back in September, guys. This is crazy. And if you can see another continuation green candle here, you could potentially lock in your rounding top formation. I know we had talked about this being a potential. You're at a higher low in perspective, just to zoom out for a second, a higher low, and typically your rounding top, one of the top bullish continuation patterns, is a retest of your uptrend, as well as you see typically from the breakout candle, crazy volume. It should look almost like horns, right? Crazy volume, flat line, crazy volume. So you want to see this kind of very, what's a good N-shaped pattern here, where you're seeing bears fail to push it down. Bam, bull step in, right? So you literally got just that. And although the candle on the daily was only a 0.15 candle close, guys, I think this is one of the more bullish closes that we've had on this stock in quite some time, because this is a full, you closed at the top of the candle. You closed back above this uptrend after breaking it. You filled the gap, and then now you're technically also still within this megaphone pattern. So there's a lot to love about Neo stock here. And if I go into the 4-hour chart, you were trading pitch perfect within this falling broadening wedge. You didn't get the tap all the way down here like I thought you would, but you're now bumping your head against the top of that resistance line, right? That top side resistance. So now what we want to see on Neo stock is you're pinned here. You are going to see a breakout or a breakdown of this trend line within tomorrow's open, to be honest. I would expect this thing to, either after hours trading or pre-market open, to see a pretty nice size launch outside of this wedge formation. And if you take the measurement here, I mean, minimum, you're looking at a potential 14% swing back up to this horizontal, you guessed it, 771. That is going to be the difference maker. If you're able to see bull step in here, momentum go in Neo's favor, and then potentially see this daily MACD begin to flip green. Now that is where it gets very exciting, because if you see this thing flip green while you're making a strong bullish impulse move, you could make another higher high. And if that happens, guys, forget bear market, forget, like, I know we were never talking about bear market, but to be extremist, right? Forget this larger peel back. You could be looking at our 950 price target. So very happy to see what we've seen on Neo stock. And if I go into trading view, I think this gives an interesting perspective. You haven't really seen the RSI come back up from that move down. And you're still seeing relative hidden bullish divergence, right? You're seeing a higher low on the price and you're seeing a lower low on the RSI. So what that means is I would expect a short-term bullish rally here to potentially make another higher high, potentially along this trend line. You could look to get stopped out. But regardless, guys, I think the volume here looks amazing. And I think the candlestick looks amazing. So give yourself a little pat on the back. You survived the down draw to the gap fill at 628. And if we go into the weekly chart here, that flips your weekly candle kind of cracked, kind of crazy. So if you can see a close above $7.01 here on the weekly time frame, you're going to see a bullish hammer candle, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, bullish hammer candle or a green doji. Now, what this would basically signal is that the bears are running out of selling power and that the bull stepped in a very crucial location to find a bottom on this stock. And what I like more than anything here is just how bullish IWM is. In fact, we got the exact retest. This is the first time I'm pulling this up, y'all. I just got back from work. This is the exact test that we had talked about. In fact, we had it drawn up, right? You had a falling broadening wedge on IWM, which is the small cap index that attributes to NEO, AMC, GameStop, right? You had a falling broadening wedge, and you take the profit target from that falling broadening wedge, took you exactly to your top at 252.77. We anticipated you would see a drawback to test the top of this wedge, just like Ethereum is doing right now, before you see a nice size launch and continuation to a potential another all-time high on IWM. Now, that is bullish, ladies and gentlemen. That is bullish for GameStop, NEO, AMC. And for me, I think you're going to see this as soon as tomorrow because you have to, right? You have to see some kind of reactive test based off of this pullback. So I would expect some kind of good news to come out, some kind of bullish close. If you don't, you might be going to the 4-hour 200 at 242. But besides for that, guys, NEO, your weekly candle close is still relatively low just because of the overall market seeing some crazy volatility. NEO was trading pretty much flatlined on volume. So unless you see a crazy ramp up in volume here, I mean, you may close a 4th bar beneath this volume trend down. And I draw this because sometimes when you see these general trends, you see big pops from these trend lines being broken. So I'll give you an example, right? I will give you an example. A pretty good example is seeing the overall volume exhaustion back here. And look what happened directly when that first volume node came through that broke this trend line. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this was your 6th node. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Potentially your 6th tap of this trend line on the volume bars. And that led to a beautiful move. Now, it wasn't just that. There was a lot of confluence in that move. And I'd like to see something similar, but it remains bullish in my opinion. And I would love if you could see some kind of high, like mid 7s close, maybe 720, 715, and get this green bullish hammer because it's looking nearly identical, ladies and gentlemen. So that's crazy bullish. You saw it here, and now you're seeing it once again. This could spell a great bullish swing to the upside for NEO and potentially confirm your breakout from the 3 white soldiers pattern. And it's beautiful that it could happen this early, but I remain optimistic. I remain bullish. And until proven otherwise, I will continue to be bullish. So 3 white soldiers pattern, in case you guys are not aware, is one of the most bullish continuation patterns or reversal patterns in the entire stock market. And for it to happen on a monthly time frame, y'all, with 3 monthly candlesticks in volume closing higher. Meanwhile, you saw the stock run 41, 31, and 19%, guys. This is inherently one of the best looking charts in the entire stock market, and it continues to absolutely prove the bulls wrong. So what I'm looking for is how you react to not just the weekly 200-day EMA, but the monthly 50 at approximately 950 or 945. That's going to be your next test. But first, we need a weekly close above 771. That has been our golden freaking resistance, 771. It's been so annoying on this stock because you've tested it 1, 2, 3, 4. You traded along it all this time, rejected it and puked, traded along it. 771 acted as the bull gates right here, crossed and gapped above it. You ran. So this is monumental for the stock's history that you break this, hold the uptrend, and you see this continuous leg stair stepping on this stock. It would look really, really good. So let's get into the quarterly MACD because my goodness, does it look insane. It looks nasty, guys. And I just want to give you some comparison of what I expect when you see this quarterly MACD chart flip to the upside, flip green and cross this midline just like it did back here in 2020. I mean, you saw 177, 174, 129. Let me just show you guys a pitch perfect quarterly MACD flip. And this is what gets me so excited. Look at HYMC. It touched $10 today. That is correct, man. That is exactly what I was saying that it would do too. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. But this is a very oversold stock. You saw the quarterly MACD flip after making this U-shaped cumulative pattern, and you rocketed 46%, consolidation doji, 98%, 42%, and there is continuous stair-stepping higher as you make this U-shaped accumulation. Now, NEO can do the same thing here. You can definitely seek out a more broad U-scale accumulation pattern, and it doesn't matter if it takes until 2027, guys. If you're investing in NEO stock here at $6 and it's at 15, 26, 46 by 2027, I mean, what kind of crazy investment would that be? You'd outperform the SPY that I know of, right? Of course, SPY could go on a historic run. You'd outperform the SPY, and you would be I would be genuinely pleased with that trade, holding it long term as a macro investment, because these things take time, right? You're going to see these blips, these squeeze moves, but these things take time. So genuinely interested to see what NEO stock does once it gets to the $950 target. If you get above it, it is a sure shot with almost no resistance until 15. So that is the daily, weekly update for NEO stock. If you guys found value in this, slap the subscribe button because I'm not going anywhere. I am covering this thing every single day, as well as other tickers, right? Crypto, GME, AMC, and other risk on assets. I'll do any other stock. SoFi I started with back 3 months ago. So just want to say thank you guys for the continuous growth. We're at how many? 794. Help us get over 800. We're trying to get to 1,000. And yeah, blessed. Super happy to have you guys with me. We did our first live stream yesterday, and it was pretty fun. I think it was fun. I don't know what you guys think, but I'd like to do more of those, especially around earnings time, so I can help you guys stay zen, stay calm, and we can grow not just our minds, but also our portfolios. So until next time, guys, God bless and peace. Woo!